Hey everybody, Brooks here, First Baptist Church of the Island. So this is kind of like my spot at home whenever I do 5 for 5s from home. And it seems like it's always on a Sunday night. And it seems like most every time that I sit at this table, sometime a little bit earlier, the dishwasher was started. So you may hear the dishwasher crank up right in the middle of this, but that would be perfect. And here's why. Because I want to take a moment to talk about interruptions that come during our day. Now, ask yourself this question: how often are you interrupted during a normal day? Now, if you are at home, maybe for you, and there goes the dishwasher, but if you're at home, maybe for you, you have small children around the house, or maybe you are kind of doing that whole school thing from home, that remote, schooling, you're now a teacher, and your day is filled with interruptions. For others of you, at work, you may be working on a project and you're in the middle of something, and all of a sudden, another coworker bursts into your office or what have you. With our phones now, we're constantly interrupted with texts and phone calls and all kinds of stuff. Life is just one big interruption. Well, here's the thing. Jesus dealt with interruptions just like us. He didn't just have a holy bubble around him where he was never interrupted. He faced it just like we do. In fact, there's one instance among many that we could read of in Scripture, but one I want to share with you real quickly. Some of you are familiar with this story that happened, a true story. It's in Luke chapter 5, and it picks up in verse 17. It says, "On one of those days, while he, Jesus, was teaching, Pharisees and teachers of the law were sitting there who had come from every village of Galilee and Judea, and also from Jerusalem. And the Lord's power to heal was in him." So basically, like, people from everywhere came to this particular instance to hear Jesus. It says, "Just then some men came carrying on a stretcher a man who was paralyzed. They tried to bring him in and set him down before Jesus, but since they couldn't find a way to bring him in because of the crowd, they went up on the roof and lowered him on the stretcher through the roof tiles into the middle of the crowd before Jesus." So, long story short, here's the spoiler: Jesus is going to heal this guy, and he does it in miraculous fashion. But I mean, how much more of an interruption could you have? I mean, he is teaching, and suddenly he hears the scratching on the roof, and this guy is lowered down from the ceiling. I mean, that's a pretty significant interruption. For most of us, certainly for me, whenever we're interrupted, we immediately count it as a distraction, and we try to do whatever we can to eliminate it and get it off our plate, so that we can get back to what we think is more important. But Jesus, it seemed, so often saw these interruptions as divine appointments. And in this case, he didn't tell these guys, "Hey, listen, what are you doing? I got people from all over this region who's come to hear me today. Get off the roof and go do something else." He didn't. He stopped what he was doing and he met this man's need. So here's my challenge to you today. My challenge is simple. Consider the interruptions that are going to come in the next few minutes or next few hours, maybe the rest of this week. Consider those as divine appointments. And sure, for a lot of them, nothing may come of it. But for some, you know what? That guy who comes into your office, or that phone call, or that text really might need your attention because God sent them to you. And just taking a quick moment to take inventory and to kind of survey the circumstance just might help you to see that's an open door to be used by God in another person's life. Hey, I don't know what interruptions may come for you, but I hope you'll consider them and see how God can use you in the midst of them. You have a great day.